guaranteed at my soul. You've heard it all before.
G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I wanted to get started just by saying if you didn't get that return student coupon for Virtual Voyage 8, which is also available for all virtual voyages right now, email me. Put it in the subject line, return student coupon. You don't have to tell me why or what happened, just email me. I'll put my email address in the description box underneath the video and I'll get that to you as soon as I can. We do start Virtual Voyage 8 on August 2nd and I am so excited to be going back to Burtonville. I'll let you go find more information about that if you're interested. Instagram is the best place to see a lot of that, and especially go and search the hashtag Virtual Voyage 2. I think it's called JLB Virtual Voyage 2 is the hashtag. That is all the Burtonville stuff that we did in Virtual Voyage 2. And so you can get a good idea of what that work looks like and what other students have experienced. I always like to point people more towards that because it's just biased coming from me showing you what I do as the teacher. And like, I also have a very different experience going through Virtual Voyages than most people, than everyone, let's be real, because I'm hosting it. So I always say, go look at those hashtags. It'll give you a very good look at how people experience the course, what they get up to, what they create, the art, the learning, all that stuff. So go check that out on Instagram if you would like to, but don't miss out on that coupon for my return students. It is available and will expire Thursday, August 3rd. So basically it's available up until we start the live component. Our workshop will go for 2 weeks, the live component. Everything's recorded, so if you miss anything or you just happen to be purchasing it in the future, it's all on a playback, so you won't miss any content. But get in there live if you can, because live is always the best way. And it's been almost a year since we've had a virtual voyage, so I've got like lots of virtual voyage energy pent up for this one. Anyway, look at this. This is not... What is going on here? I put the cinematic mode on this video and I thought it was just the lighting, but now that my eyes are working a little bit better, this looks like there's a filter on my face. I'm not hating it, but that's just not me. It's gonna be me today. This is my 5-year journal and it was my birthday a couple of days ago. No, like yesterday. Literally yesterday. Feels like a couple of days ago. It's so much fun. I turned 33. People have been saying happy birthday for a long time, which I thank you for. I really appreciated all the messages and the comments and everything. Nothing makes you feel better than a birthday because everyone is just saying happy birthday to you and you feel very special for really no reason. Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't give birth to myself today. It really should be a Mother's Day, but I had such a great time. It was super low key. I'm not one to make a huge fuss about my birthday. I really enjoy it and I really love like having a birthday. Big Leo energy over here. I really do love my moment in the spotlight, but I'm not someone who has a birthday month. I don't really request that people do anything. Like, I've had parties in the past, but they kind of just happen, or like someone else will do it for me on my behalf. Like, I don't really ask to plan it or to be involved or to do whatever. So I'm pretty up and down on birthdays, but I do really enjoy it. And I think the thing that is kind of the most interesting for me is that, like, I'm gonna say, like, I don't want to say I'm aging. I mean, 33 is so young, but as I get older, the numbers seem a whole lot less significant. I think when I was turning like 24 or 25, every single one felt so massive. I was like, 25, this is huge. 26, whoa, like such an adult. 27, I can't believe it. How did I get here? All of that. Since 30, I have been 30. Like, I don't think I can feel some of the effects of aging, but then also I put that down to like gaining a lot of weight. I was like, did I just age or did I just put on 100 pounds? Like, I don't really know. And at the end of the day, yeah, my sentiment is, as I get older, I think I feel like I'm as old as I feel, and the numbers can keep climbing as high as they want. As long as I keep feeling like this, I'm happy. I would love to feel like this and be 72, so let's just fingers crossed for all that. But yeah, it was a great day. I document a very specific way in my 5-year journal for my birthday. It actually starts on the 26th, and on the 26th, I'll take a bit of an introspective look at the age that I just was. So that's why I draw the 32 over in the corner. And I just did like a little blurb, a little write-up of what 32 was for me, or like my thoughts about it. And I kind of do a bit of introspection, which is an interesting thing to do. And what I noticed is, looking back through the 5 years documented in there, it's such a bittersweet thing to see. Like, I remember getting this journal, how thin it was. I remember being so excited to see what it would look like right at the end. And now that I'm at the end of the 5 years, it's so sad. I feel like I put all this work into it and it's just going to be finished. But I'm happy that it's going to be finished because that's what I wanted. And then I'll start a new one. So I think maybe I'll feel a little different when the new one arrives, which I think they start selling in September. Don't quote me on that, but very excited to purchase my new one. I can't wait to see how thin it is in comparison, because I remember it being a certain size, but it's so fat now, like it's so chunked up in this last year especially, because I'm finishing all the pages, but I find myself putting a ton of photos in there. And even though they're printed on pretty thin glossy sticker paper, it still bulks it up. Like, it's a lot. Now I'm trying not to put them on any pages that don't already have a sticker or a photo sticker on there. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's a blank page, it's got a drawing on it. I don't really want to put a photo on that if I can avoid it. I say that, I literally put a tip in this video. I put 2. I'm a liar. No. Those are my hopes and goals and dreams. Those are absolutely not things that I'm doing in real life, physically, presently, currently, and truthfully. Anyway, so let's leave all that. So I do the little introspection. I have to say, like, reading back through all of them, it was kind of sad. I mean, I like to leave the past in the past. I'm a very nostalgic person, so I will, dip my toes back into the past just for some serotonin when I need to think about happy things. But for the most part, like, especially sad things, I mean, I just leave that in the past. And it's a weird thing to read it back, especially when I'm in a good place. Like, nothing sounds more dramatic than a sad little piece of writing that I did when I was upset. It sounds so annoying to me when I read it when I'm in a good place. It's like I never want to see it again. But I am happy that I did it. I'm happy that there are these, very kind of honest, raw feelings about some things in here, because that is truthful, that is real, that is the life. I'm not a perfect person. I haven't lived a perfect life, and so that journal shouldn't reflect that. But it is a little cringe to read it sometimes, and I was reading back on the 2019 passage when I was talking about 28, and I do remember 2019 being like an incredibly difficult year. And so I know I literally just read it, but I don't want to paraphrase. I wrote that it just wasn't a good time. Like, it wasn't good, and I was hopeful that 2029 would be a better year. And it kind of was, but then we went into the pandemic, and so that was kind of womp womp. And then 21, I think you can see it, like 2021, I was getting a little bit more hopeful when I was, through 30, like, it was pandemic, so it was kind of slow. I think basically, like, if you had to look at where I was personally through these ages, I seem to be on an upward swing. Like, I'm on a good trajectory, and I was just really happy to write that 32 was happier. Like, it was good for me. It was lots of good things, and it's not perfect. It's not exactly what I was looking for, and maybe there's still work to do in 33 that I maybe wish I could have done at 32, but that I am at least happy with that. Like, I was happy to write it down. I do remember being in 2019, I do remember being upset writing that down. And especially when it was my first entry, I was like, there was a part of me that thought, well, it can only go up from here. And I'm happy to say that it did. Could you imagine if it got worse? It got worse and it was documented. Oh, what a nightmare. Maybe my journal's keeping me on track for life. Who knows that? Bold claim, but, could be, who knows? I was very happy to write it. And so then on 27th, I usually just document what I did for the day. And then I put a portrait of me for at that year. So I did my portraits the other day. Steve has been gifting me this portrait, birthday portrait thing, and I gift it back to him in October. And so we've been doing these birthday portraits for each other that have become a tradition, and I really love them. But now that Steve's becoming more of a fully fledged editorial photographer, he was really game to go out and just, play America's Next Top Model. So I was loving it. I was gonna just work on my birthday, which was boring, but I have a lot of work to do. And he said, no working, get your clothes out, we're gonna go around the city and we're just gonna take photo shoots. So we went and did America's Next Top Model on my birthday. It was such a quick turnaround time. So if you ever need anything done editorially last minute, Steve's your guy, he can do it. I loved it. Look, you don't have to ask me twice to go and model in front of a camera actually on the screen. That's a light test that Steve did his shoot. Like, I love photos. I love photos and I love to be in front of the camera. I love to be behind the camera. You really just can't stop us. We just love photography. I love making pictures and I love seeing pictures and I love visually stimulating imagery. Like, they're just all about that in art and journaling and photography and even in dance. Like, they're all visuals. They're moving and like, just love it all. I love it. But we've been gifting that back and forth to each other, and I just think it's a really nice way to document it, even if it's not a super, like a super well done portrait like Steve does for me. Even if they were just regular photos that someone took on my iPhone, I would still love that. I think it's a really great tradition to have for yourself, even the years that I wasn't feeling the best, like some of those portraits that I took that I really posed the right way and really angled my body in a way not to show how much weight I'd put on. Like, even those, I look back at them and I just appreciate that I didn't skip a year because I didn't feel like I could look good in the photo or whatever. I'm happy to have those years. I'm sad that there's not one for 2019, that we only started that in 2020, but that's life. Steve didn't really start taking those editorial photos until 2020. So even in a way, it tells a story, there not being one for that year, but I really did love it. And then I just wanted to get this extra photo in here because it was a light test photo and I was just really happy with it. I thought it looked really nice. I don't usually love myself in photos where I'm the real me, if that makes sense. Like, not in smiling with my friends and my family or whatever, like that's fine, I'm fine with that. But if I'm ever taking proper photos, like headshots, I get really uncomfortable about headshots because it's just the real me. I love to be in front of the camera, like full model down, like just over the top, really, really embarrassingly over the top. That's me. I love that. The more camp, the better. More glamorous, high fashion. I know I'm not that model, but you won't stop me living that fantasy. So that's what I love. But whenever I'm just like a real person in it, and Steve really likes that, sometimes he wants to take a photo of like just me being just neutral. I tend to have a really nasty scowl on my face. I've got my resting face. So I don't really love that, but there are a few times where I've looked at it and I thought that just seems like a very honest depiction of me and I really liked it. So I decided to print that one out as well. And I felt like it was a nice way to kind of cap off, July 26th in this journal, to have that final photo, because it was me looking back at all those years. And then the other photos I just collaged together and put them on my July 27th page because it's supposed to be the portraits. You can see that like in 2019 I only had that one photo from when we were at dinner at Disneyland. 2020 Steve did that double exposure photo, but then we started doing photo shoots, like there were multiple photos and multiple looks. So I would try and get as many of those in as I could. And then July 28th in my journal becomes the overflow of the other ones that I couldn't fit into the July 27th spread. And I'm sure as time goes on, I'll probably need to have like an appendix, just additional journal over to the side with all the extra photos that don't fit in at all. There was so many. I don't even think I could put all the ones that I even posted to Instagram in the spread. So I just chose my favorites, or the ones I felt like would tell a good story. And then luckily I still had one of these circle stickers left so I could keep it all together, team with the theme, and put my little age in the circle. But this is the way I document it, and I really do love looking back at it. I think some of these pages, I don't really go into with an intention of like, oh, I'm going to do this and every year it's going to be this. But there are a few that I go with and themes develop over the years. I don't really necessarily know in 2019 that by 2023 this is going to be something that I kept going with. And if I can see a theme pop up, like I just go with it. Specifically, like there's these pages where I will start 2019 with red ink, and then it'll go to black ink, and then it'll go to blue ink, and then so I'll flip it so then it'll go back to black ink and then to red ink, so that the whole thing kind of makes sense as a color story. Or I'd alternate them, or sometimes I would use a very specific pen and I would try and get that pen and do it again. So you're going to see it. I will flip this whole journal for you when it's finished at the start of 2024. You'll see that some of the pages over the years, like there's a blue and a black pen theme happening there. Some of those pages do just develop a theme over time. And I've really enjoyed that process, looking back at it. Sometimes I'll even just write all in caps, like all in capital letters is a thing that I might do. I just love it. This is my favorite journal. I can't get enough of it. And I hope you enjoyed watching that process come together. Again, thank you so much. Email me for the return student coupon. Thank you. I'm really happy to be 33. Congratulations to us for being alive. See you soon. Bye.